Hey guys, welcome in. This is part 3 of my locking mechanism video series, I should say. Um, I left off part 2 talking about the openal knife, the collar lock or bolster lock. Um, and as I said, you can lock this knife open. But what's really cool about this, and by the way, you can rotate this either way, left or right, and it'll lock that blade up really nice. Just nowhere to go. This whole piece would have to snap off or break in order for the lock to fail, which is I've never personally heard that happening or experienced that. What's also cool about this is that there's a cutout, and again, let me grab that loop on the side here. See how the bolster has that little cutout right there? That actually allows, and as you can see here, I have a little bit of surface rust, which I should take care of after the video. You be sure that I will. But I can rotate this like this closed, and that notch is so that you can actually lock this in the closed position. You can see that there. This blade will now not open, okay, because it just has nowhere to go. So in the closed position, this will not open whatsoever. Really cool. There's not too many knives that lock closed, but actually, I'll show you this right here because this is very common. A lot of people have these Kershaw scallions, and they have the other assisted Kershaw models like the Chive or the Leek. Very, very popular knives. This actually locks closed. And this is a very, very simple design. On the bottom or butt end of the knife, you'll see there's a little screw. And underneath the screw is kind of a little plastic nib. Okay. And basically, all you have to do, let me get a better grip here. All you have to do to lock this closed is slide the screw over. And that just puts that little plastic nib in front of the tip of your blade, therefore making it or locking it closed, okay, so that this won't accidentally open in your pocket. Being that this is an assisted opening knife and you do have this little flipper here in your pocket, it can be jostled around and kind of be pushed and opened up, and obviously that's bad news. You don't want your knife opening up in your pocket. So if you do feel unsafe about the Speed Safe carrying it, you can lock that. Okay, nice little convenient feature. The only thing I have against it is that if you have to take your knife out really fast in some kind of emergency situation and you keep this locked all the time, you might forget and you're struggling to try to open your blade, and like whether it's a car accident or maybe a self-defense situation, any time you lose getting your knife out, can be the difference between life or death, to be honest. So, if you're always locking this, just keep that in mind. So if you have to take your knife out very fast, you can use your ring finger here to just slide it down, okay, so you can open your knife. Just be aware of that, okay? Keep that in mind if you're going to carry it like that. But anyway, back to the openal. Just a pretty neat feature. So this does lock open or closed, okay? And that's like I said, probably more commonly known as a bolster lock, but I have heard it be called a collar lock as well. Another specialty lock here would be the Columbia River Knife and Tool Roll Lock. This is actually the Roll Lock 2. Very interesting design knife. I have a full review on this one as well as the little brother, the Roll Lock 1, if you're interested in the knife itself. Basically, all this is a lockback knife. However, the lock is placed in the front as opposed to the back. The back of the knife, it's in the front here. By design, because this rolls on a track, they had to place it in the front. So same thing, you're just depressing that, which is releasing the blade. It's different from a lockback in that you're not lifting. See, lockbacks, all you're doing is lifting up. Again, you're lifting up that back spring. Okay, that's the point of it. But on this one, there is no back spring. By depressing this lock, all you're doing is moving. I actually should have grabbed the other one so you could see it because it's transparent. But you're moving a piece out of the way to free up the blade. Okay, and then you could slide it on the track and back into its frame. So that's the Roll Lock 2. This one here is the Pocket Bushman by Cold Steel. This has a specialty lock. This is called the Ram Safe lock. Okay, and this is very unique, to other knives. This is the only knife that has this lock. I'm not sure. I believe it's patent pending. But by design, because this knife is the handle is one solid piece of sheet metal that's folded over, they had to come up with a different kind of lock for it. This is actually very strong. I really should have taken this apart to show you how this works, but I can't really explain the workings of it, but how to unlock the knife, all you're doing is pulling on the bottom, and they included this piece of paracord here, so that you can assist in pulling that, because it's very hard to pull. It's a very heavy-duty spring in here, but that would unlock the blade. If for some reason you didn't want to go with this, they did put some jimping here on the lock on the back, so you can grip it to unlock it, but it's very, very uncomfortable, to be honest. So you kind of need this piece of paracord. So again, by pulling this, you're freeing the blade up to fold back in. And this lock, just like many other locks, also kind of keeps the blade sucked into the handle, so it does not open, in your pocket very easily. So again, just another kind of specialty lock. And then finally, you will see one of my favorite folding knife designs, the Balisong. Okay, the Balisong uses a latch to lock the knife. As you see here, it locks it in the closed position as well as the open position. Okay. Oops. There we go. So you can lock this in the open or closed position. Now this is a modified latch. This is a spring latch on the Benchmade Model 42. However, the most common Balisong latches are what they're called as T-latches. By design, if you turn them like this, they look like a capital T. And basically all it is a piece of metal that's connecting both handles together, okay, so they can't spread open. By design, the Balisong is by far the strongest folding knife locking mechanism. Even if you didn't even have the lock, this is the lock right here, even if you didn't have the lock at all, let's say this failed on you and broke right off, well, guess what? As long as you're holding this knife open, you're holding both handles, there's no way it can fail. There's no way this lock can fail on you, okay, even under extreme force. The actual handles are going to have to break, okay, or the blade is going to have to break. Again, just by design, having both these handles attached at different pivot points, and the fact that you're holding it. Just like the frame lock, your grip is facilitating the lock itself, okay? And it's not really, again, the lock is down here. This is the lock, the latch. But just by design, this is the strongest folding knife. Next to a fixed blade, this is the strongest, most fail-safe design you're going to get, okay? And again, if Balisongs are illegal where you live, there are, or there didn't used to be, but now the Cold Steel Black Rock Hunter facilitates that same very strong design. However, it is illegal because you cannot flip it as you would a Balisong. It's a two-hand operation. And of course, I just recently came out with a full review on that knife. So that is my video on different locking mechanisms. I should say my series of videos, because it ended up taking me 3 videos to do it. If you're wondering, I get a lot of emails too saying, hey man, you're a YouTube partner now. You can put up long movies. You don't have to stop at 10 minutes. And I realized that, and actually I just recently did a 16-minute video, and it's been taking me 3 days, and I still haven't gotten it up because I'm having problems uploading it. It's just a really big file. So, unfortunately, I'm going to probably still stick with the 10-minute limit for myself. Again, just for the uploading process, it's just too ridiculously long. So anyway, this is part 3 and the conclusion to my locking mechanism video series. Hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a little something, and I appreciate you watching. So once again, thank you very much for tuning in and watching the video and enjoying it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.